Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to? Maybe you wake up feeling sluggish, your joints ache a little more, or your memory isn't quite as sharp as it once was. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Sometimes it's not about getting older, it's about what's on your plate. What if I told you that some of the foods you've been eating for years could be speeding up aging, draining your energy, and even putting you at risk for serious health issues? The truth is, a few everyday foods can quietly sabotage your health. And once you know what they are, you'll have the power to make simple changes that could transform the way you feel. So today, we're talking about 5 foods that might be making you feel older than you really are, and what you should be eating instead. Trust me, some of these will surprise you. Let's start with a big one, something that's been a staple in breakfast tables for generations. You probably grew up thinking it was a healthy way to start the day, but the reality? Not so much. Cereal. Yes, that so-called healthy bowl of bran flakes, granola, or even oatmeal from a packet. I know what you're thinking. How could cereal be bad? Well, most packaged cereals, even the ones that claim to be high in fiber or heart healthy, are loaded with sugar, artificial ingredients, and refined grains. And that sugar isn't just bad for your waistline, it accelerates aging at a cellular level. Here's how it works. When you eat a high-sugar breakfast like cereal, your blood sugar spikes and then it crashes a couple of hours later. That's why you might feel great for a short time, but then suddenly you're exhausted, craving more food, or struggling to focus. Over time, these constant sugar spikes lead to inflammation, weight gain, and even cognitive decline. But don't worry, you don't have to give up breakfast entirely. Instead of cereal, go for something that stabilizes your blood sugar, like eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, or a smoothie with protein and healthy fats like organic olive oil or avocado oil. These options give you sustained energy without the crash. Alright, now let's move on to something you might find in your coffee cup every morning. And this one is a little controversial. Flavored creamers. Those little bottles of vanilla, hazelnut, or caramel creamer might make your coffee taste amazing, but they come with a hidden price. Most of them are packed with artificial flavors, chemicals, and something called hydrogenated oils, otherwise known as trans fats. Why does that matter? Because trans fats are one of the worst things for your heart. They clog arteries, increase inflammation, and raise your risk of heart disease and stroke. And as we age, our bodies become even more sensitive to these effects. Even if your creamer says 0 trans fats on the label, don't be fooled. Food companies are allowed to list 0 as long as the amount is under 0.5 grams per serving. But let's be real, who uses just one tiny serving? If you're adding a few tablespoons to your coffee every morning, those hidden trans fats add up quickly. So, what's the better option? Ditch the artificial creamers and try coconut milk, or even a splash of real organic to avoid the hormones, heavy cream. If you need sweetness, a tiny bit of honey or cinnamon can give your coffee a natural boost without the harmful ingredients. Now, if you're thinking, well, I don't drink coffee, so I'm in the clear, hold on. Because the next food on our list is something that sneaks its way into so many meals, and you probably don't even realize how bad it is for you. And this one? It's a huge problem for people over 60 because it directly impacts your joints, your digestion, and even your skin. Let's talk about it next. If you're someone who enjoys a good sandwich or a quick meal on the go, listen up because this next one is a hidden health hazard. I'm talking about processed meats. Things like deli turkey, ham, bacon, sausages, and even those hot dogs you might throw on the grill every summer. You might think, well, I've been eating this my whole life and I feel fine. But here's the problem. These meats are packed with preservatives, sodium, and something called nitrates, chemicals that have been linked to inflammation, high blood pressure, and even cancer. But let's talk about the part nobody mentions, what these meats do to your joints. If you've noticed more stiffness in your knees, aching fingers, or a general sense that your body just doesn't move as smoothly as it used to, your diet could be making it worse. The preservatives and chemicals in processed meats cause chronic inflammation, which speeds up arthritis and joint pain. And that's not all. Your digestion takes a hit too. Processed meats are low in fiber and high in unhealthy fats, making them a nightmare for gut health. If you've been struggling with bloating, constipation, or acid reflux, cutting out processed meats could make a bigger difference than you realize. So, what's the better option? Switch to fresh, unprocessed protein sources. Instead of deli turkey, go for grilled chicken. Instead of bacon, try smoked salmon or avocado. And if you love the flavor of sausage, there are healthier options made with real ingredients. Just check the label and avoid anything with nitrates or added preservatives. Alright, let's keep going, because the next food on this list is one that almost everyone has in their kitchen, and it's quietly making you feel older and more tired every single day. Any guesses? It's something so common, so widely used, that most people don't even think twice about it. I'm talking about vegetable oils, that's right. Those bottles of canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, and even sunflower oil that are often marketed as heart-healthy alternatives. They're doing the exact opposite. Here's why. These oils are highly processed and loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which cause inflammation throughout your body. Over time, that inflammation leads to joint pain, memory problems, heart disease, and even faster aging of your skin. Think about it. Ever noticed how some people in their 70s and 80s have glowing, youthful skin while others seem to age overnight? The secret isn't just genetics, it's what they eat. And vegetable oils play a huge role in that difference. What's even worse, these oils are everywhere. Restaurants cook with them. Packaged foods are loaded with them. Even things like salad dressings, mayonnaise, and so-called healthy snack bars often contain these harmful oils. But here's the good news. There's a simple fix. Instead of vegetable oils, switch to organic extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even grass-fed butter. These natural fats protect your heart, support your brain, and even help your skin stay younger looking. Now, so far, we've covered some pretty surprising foods: cereal, flavored creamers, processed meats, and vegetable oils. But if you thought those were bad, the next one is even worse. Because this last food, it's been directly linked to memory loss, heart disease, and even a shorter lifespan. And what's shocking is that so many people over 60 eat it every single day without realizing the damage it's doing. Alright, we've already covered 4 of the worst foods that could be draining your energy, hurting your joints, and even speeding up the aging process. But this last one? It's possibly the most dangerous of them all. Because unlike the others, which are hidden in certain meals or snacks, this one can creep into nearly everything you eat, even the so-called healthy foods in your fridge and pantry. I'm talking about artificial sweeteners. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I switched to sugar-free to be healthier. And you're not alone. Many people over 60 turn to sugar substitutes to cut calories, control blood sugar, or avoid weight gain. But here's the problem. Artificial sweeteners aren't the healthy alternative you've been led to believe. In fact, they are even worse than real sugar. One of the biggest offenders, aspartame. It's found in diet sodas, sugar-free yogurts, light salad dressings, and even some medications. Studies have linked it to headaches, dizziness, and even an increased risk of stroke and dementia. Even savory foods can contain it to enhance flavor that is lost during processing. And then there's sucralose, found in those little yellow packets you stir into your coffee. Research shows that sucralose disrupts gut bacteria, slows metabolism, and can make sugar cravings even worse. Here's the real kicker. Artificial sweeteners trick your body into thinking it's getting sugar, which causes an insulin spike. That insulin spike leads to fat storage, increased hunger, and, over time, a higher risk of diabetes and heart disease. So if you've been drinking diet soda every day or using sugar-free sweeteners, thinking you're making a healthy choice, it's time to reconsider. Your body and your brain will thank you. Now, let's take a step back. We've gone through 5 common foods that could be quietly harming your health: cereal, flavored creamers, processed meats, vegetable oils, and artificial sweeteners. These foods are everywhere, which is why so many people end up feeling tired, achy, and older than they really are. But here's the good news. You don't have to make huge, overwhelming changes all at once. Small swaps make a big difference. Instead of sugary cereal, try eggs or a protein smoothie. Instead of processed meats, go for fresh cuts. Instead of vegetable oils, use organic olive oil. And when you need something sweet, choose honey or stevia instead of artificial chemicals. It's never too late to change the way you eat and feel better than you have in years. Your body is designed to heal, to renew, and to thrive, if you give it the right fuel. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Have you already cut some of them out, or is there one you're struggling to give up? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more videos coming your way to help you stay strong, sharp, and full of life no matter your age. Thanks for watching, and here's to your best years ahead.